Hi, Heather.
Hey Mike, how are you?
Good, and yourself?
Doing good, thank you. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Is it good to see Pickle again?
Yes, definitely. Polly want a cracker? oh,
Well, hopefully Pickle behaves himself. He has been known to bite.
ooh, not hard, I hope.
Not too hard, but enough for it to be annoying. So
Oh,
I have my bottle of water here if I need to spray him.
oh.
Okay. Well, in store for today's show, I want to do some flag trivia and play Name That Tune again. And otherwise, we'll just take questions.
Looking forward to it. Now, do you want to start off with viewer questions or forum questions?
Yes. Are there any viewer questions rip roaring and ready to go? And by the way, hi audience, thanks for coming.
Hey, audience. Yes, we have several ready to go. And by the way, if you're watching, if you have any questions for Mike, please put it in the comments and we will get to it accordingly.
And it would be
So,
good if you wrote question in all caps or something so that we can easily identify it as opposed to just a comment.
yep, that would make it much more helpful. So our very first question of the day, and he wrote his question an hour early. Front row says, what are the odds of gold hitting $4,000 an ounce? Same question for silver hitting $50 an ounce. Are you concerned about the collapse of the US dollar?
This is out of my area, a full warning. Heather, do you know what gold is right now? Isn't it between 1,500 and 2,000?
I have no idea.
Let's have a look.
Okay.
I'm going to have to move the camera for a second so I can use my keyboard.
Well, we get a different view of your house. Actually, just your office, not your house. Although that's a nice office.
Thanks.
Uh-huh.
Okay, gold is at, ooh, wow, $2,053.60. I am not one of these doom and gloom, the sky is falling people that think that the US dollar is going to hit bottom and we will all be hoarding gold and silver. No, I have been hearing people with that opinion all my life, and I'm not saying gold and silver is a bad investment, but no, I don't think that the end is nigh. So,
Well,
you
we
know, I
we
think
all
that
know we all know what the currency would be. It wouldn't be gold or silver, it'd be toilet paper.
good one. But I really have no idea what direction anything is going to go. But yeah, I definitely don't think it's going to hit $4,000 an ounce anytime soon, unless things really get really, really, really bad. But I don't see that happening. So but I will say that I think that people should have some percentage of their wealth in precious metals. For me, that percentage is really low, like 5%.
Okay.
Okay, that's about all I have on that one.
So our next question.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about the collapse of the US dollar. Nope, nope, nope.
Okay. So our next question comes from Ari. I am a big fan of yours and your website, have been for 20 years. I learned a lot. I am wondering if advantage play is still possible and worth the time and effort.
It's definitely still possible. And is it worth the time and effort? It really depends upon what your other options are and how much money you have, how much money you need to make. There's no answer to that that's going to fit everybody. Advantage play right now is in an area where there's not one super hot game. The advantage players I know have a number of tricks in their bag of tricks. Slot machines are a big one right now, and we've talked about this before, but poaching slot machines that are temporarily in a high state, promotion abuse is popular right now. And who knows what else is popular that people just aren't telling me right now. But yeah, there's definitely still advantage play out there, and I think there always will be.
Do you know, and this is a personal question of mine, do you know how COVID has impacted APs?
It seems like APs I know are much less busy. Like if sports was your thing, you're obviously less busy. Just one person told me that he's a counter, and he says it's good for that because you can wear a mask. So detection is a lot more difficult. But with a lot of casinos closed and the ones that are open being pretty conservative about promotions, it's probably not a good time for AP right now.
Okay. So our next question, and this one is a common one we get. Can Baccarat be beaten consistently?
No.
No.
Next question.
I think we get 2 or 3 of those a live stream.
Yeah, no, Baccarat's like betting on the flip of a coin.
Yeah. So Benefactor says, can you tell us the story of a lucrative advantage play that you were a part of?
I was a part of the rollout of internet casinos in New Jersey. And I've told this story before, but if you signed up for an account at, say, whatever internet casino was legal in New Jersey, you could do this at every single casino. And when you did that and played slots, the slots were all automatically started in the same state. And with games like Ocean Magic and Golden Egypt, they started the very first spin, you were in a positive state, and players just went to every casino and signed up for an account at each one of them and only played those games until they were in a negative state. And they did quite well. And how was I involved in it? I did some math behind that to show the value of each state and when the player should quit. So yeah, that's probably the most recent one I've been involved in. But I really, sadly, don't do a whole lot of advantage play anymore.
Okay. Our next question comes from Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still enjoy the action and excitement of a win and the pain of a loss, or is it just research for you? The games and bets give you a buzz. Do they give you a buzz or some kind of degree of enjoyment?
I would like to think that I'm pretty cool about my gambling, but I'm not going to say that if I suffer a big loss or have a big win, I'm not going to have some emotion about it. But for the most part, yeah, I'm pretty cool about it. And as long as I have a good bet, it doesn't really bother me if I lose, and I don't get too excited if I win. Now, I will say that I had a lot of money on Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election. And when she lost, for betting purposes, I was not happy at all. And I'm not going to comment about other purposes. Yeah, I lost like $10,000 with that. Yeah, and whenever there's a Super Bowl safety, I lose thousands and thousands of dollars. So I won't say that those didn't upset me a little bit, but yeah, but the little stuff doesn't really bother me.
Okay. So next up is, this is from Tom. Are there gambling misconceptions that will just never go away despite your educational efforts? And are there gambling misconceptions that you're proud to have destroyed?
I certainly try to destroy a lot of them. Have I completely destroyed any? No. I would like to think I've chipped away at some of them. For example, does a bad player at the blackjack table cause everybody to lose? The answer is absolutely not. I've been trying to educate people on that for 20 years now. And I could go through a whole list of other casino myths that I'm trying to debunk. But it is a tough battle. And with like 7 billion people in the earth, It's not easy to reach all of them, but I try my best.
Well, we appreciate your efforts.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So next up is a question from the forum, and this is from Gillamere. Both you and Heather have discussed the various big Vegas shows that you have seen. My wife and I, however, prefer lounge lizard acts. The cheesier, the better. Do either of you recommend a classic Vegas lounge act to catch? And is there an old act that you have fond memories of?
Yeah, sadly, I've got nothing on that one.
No?
Lounge acts here in Vegas are becoming a thing of the dodo bird. And
Well, after COVID, too.
yeah, so I don't follow any, never did follow any. So yeah, I've got nothing there. How about you, Heather?
A friend of mine took me to a burlesque show, and it was one of those nerdy burlesque shows. So we had like Darth Vader stripping, and it was fun. Like
Was
that
it
was
a lounge act?
what?
Was it a lounge act?
Yeah, it would be considered a lounge act.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was just more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be.
Okay. Usually you don't see things that elaborate for lounge acts.
Yeah, it was downtown, if that helps.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I saw the burlesque show at the Mandalay Bay. I forgot what it was called, and that was pretty good, but you had to pay to get in, so I wouldn't call it a lounge act.
Yeah, no, this was one of those really, they did it for the love of it, you know? And it was funny. Like, it was just so funny and totally nerdy. I loved it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll stop talking about the naked women, dancing women. Okay, so next up is, in Baccarat, does the combined probabilities of cards at various positions, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, speculate the next outcome, or is it just the high probability or high EV of the last dealt card that predicts it?
I'm not sure I understand the question, but I will say that unless you have a computer at hand, the past doesn't matter in Baccarat. It doesn't matter what the last 6 cards were. It doesn't matter what the whole shoe history was. Just stick to the player and the banker bets, preferably the banker, and that's the best you can do. And if you want to get into card counting in Baccarat, you need a computer, and that would be a felony here in Nevada, and I don't think any state in the U.S. would take too kindly to it. And furthermore, even if you had a computer, it wouldn't be that useful.
Okay. Why wouldn't it be that useful?
Because what you could expect is, let's say you had an app where you put in every single card that you see, and the app calculates exactly the house advantage on all the major bets as the shoe is going. Sometimes very late in the shoe, you will see an advantage, and it will probably be surprisingly on the tie. And if you did that, then late in the shoe, sometimes you would see marginal advantages. But it would be the kind of thing where you're only making a bet 1% of the time. And even when you do, maybe you have a 1-2% advantage. So it would be a slow grind way to make money. Not to mention, if you're betting on the tie, there's the volatility of that.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to take a break and play some flag trivia with the audience?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay, audience, get ready. Put on your thinking caps. It's time for flag trivia. Question number 1. What is the only international flag that is not rectangular? And I'm going to give each one like 10 seconds.
Okay, and I'm looking for you guys in the comments. So whoever answers this, first one who answers it, I'll put it up.
And you can answer too, Heather.
You want to ask the question again?
What is the only country flag that is not a rectangle? And keep in mind, somebody got it.
Ooh.
Congratulations to Tony, Chen, and Tom. The answer is Nepal.
Nice.
Isn't that a cool looking flag?
That is.
Okay, Speaking of flag shapes,
Uh-huh.
stop it. Name 2 international flags that are square.
2 international flags that are square.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys know the answer, put it in your comments. Put it in the comments. Put your answer in the comments.
And I think I should also allow that I think there's like a 5-second delay.
Yeah, there probably is. These live streams usually have a delay. And our first question said that he got it wrong. So we are still
I'm
waiting.
not seeing anything.
Nope. not
Last
seeing
call.
anything. Is that your
Somebody
final
got
answer?
one. Oh, very good. A math test got one of them, Switzerland.
Oh, cool.
And the other one is
Is it?
the Vatican City.
Ah, cool.
Okay, here's one that I've asked for years, and I've yet to get anyone who got the answer.
Okay.
So most flags are 2 by 3 in dimension, but what are the dimensions of the United States flag?
16 by 9?
Nope.
Okay, if you know the answer, put it in the comments. I am stumped. I'm thinking 3 by 4 instead of 4
Nope,
by
it's
3.
they're kind of unusual dimensions.
And then Carl wants to know, how did Japan get missed last time? Do you know what he's talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And thanks for reminding me. I asked that before. I'm going to look something up real quick just to make sure I have the answer.
Okay, and then after that, we have a few answers on the dimensions. So we can go over that.
Searching is not allowed.
No Google.
Yep.
That doesn't count. So can you tell people what the name of your bird is again?
Pickle.
Pickle. I think he might be camera shy. He has his back turned to the camera. So does Pickle eat any snacks or anything?
I have yet to find a food that Pickle really likes, which hasn't been easy in training him. Okay, here's our U.S. flag. And someone correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody please look this up. But I believe the correct dimensions.
Wait. We have a couple answers. Did
Yeah, I could see them.
Did anyone get it right?
I think 20 by 9 is the closest, but I think it's 20 by 11.
Okay.
Can somebody check on that, please?
Okay, now Google it.
Okay, the next question. Name 2 country flags that have the same kind of design as the U.S. flags, where there's stripes and stars. And for extra credit, shall we say why?
Oh, okay. So if you know the answer, put that in the comments. I'm watching for that. We had a lot of people guess the dimensions. Had a couple good guesses too. Is it Liberia?
Yes, Liberia is one of them.
Woo, woo, woo. How about Malaysia?
Yes, Malaysia is the other one.
Sweet, we got our 2 winners.
Yes, if you'll excuse me, this is really bothering me about the dimensions.
Well, at least we get a nice close-up view of your beard. How you liking the beard?
It's really itchy and tickles me, and I'm kind of looking forward to getting rid of it. But as long as I've come this far, I may as well keep going. And
are you going to grow out to like a sea captain beard? Have it be like a sea captain?
Well, I'm thinking I'm going to grow it out to be like a nice big wizard beard.
Nice.
Okay. Did anyone confirm the U.S. flag? Anyway, okay, so here are the two U.S. flag-based flags. This one is Liberia, and the brief story there is Liberia was, after the Civil War, we gave every freed slave the opportunity of going back to Africa, and we, I don't know how to describe it, but the country of choice to send freed slaves to was Liberia, and we helped them set up a form of government that was very similar to the form here. And to this day, it's still very much modeled on our form of government. And people there are pretty US friendly and often speak English. So yeah, that's Liberia. And Malaysia, you would think, has really nothing to do with the United States, which is basically true. They just like the design. Okay, so last time I think I asked this one, so I'm not going to ask it again, but just say the answer. So I asked what two countries had a flag that was just a circle behind a plain background. So we have Palau here, and we have Bangladesh here. Okay, next question. Here it comes. Where's this flag from?
Can I guess?
Yes.
Italy?
No.
Oh, dang. France?
Nope.
Ah, okay, I'm all out. If you guys know the answer to that, put it in the comments.
Okay, I'm looking. I don't see anything here.
Was I close?
No.
I'm so bad with geography.
Now I'm.
How about Ireland?
I thought somebody would say Ireland, but no.
No.
This is the flag of Ireland.
Oh my. Could you put them up against each other?
Green on the side of the flagpole.
Wow. Oh, wow.
This flag has different dimensions. It's not as long. And this is the flag of the Ivory Coast.
The Ivory Coast. Okay.
Yep. So that's a good question.
We did not get that answer in the comments.
Okay. Which two countries have these two flags?
Ooh, if you guys know, put it in the comments. I'm going to say,
Each other.
Is it a European country?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that should help some of you guys out there.
Here's a further hint. They're both in the Caribbean.
Is it Cuba?
Okay, yes. Omid said Cuba, but Omid, which one is Cuba?
Oh, okay. You got to tell us which one.
Is it this one or this one?
We also have someone saying they're guessing India.
Nope.
Not India.
Yep. Yep. Math test correctly said Cuba and Puerto Rico, but nobody has said which is which.
Amit says that it's red, so Cuba is
Miami B-Boy says that Cuba is the left one, and Cuba is in my left hand, but you see that on the right.
okay.
So I'm not sure. Anyway, the one where the star is in the red field is Cuba, and the other one where it's in blue is Puerto Rico.
Ah, good to know.
Okay, so let me show you a bunch of flags here.
Okay.
I might have asked this last week. So you have this one here. You have this one here. This one here. What? And this one here.
Do you know what the constellation is?
Yeah. The question is, what is the constellation that you see here?
Ah, okay. I got to guess. If you guys know the answer, put it in the comments. So, can I guess?
Sure.
Is it the Big Dipper?
Nope.
Ah, okay. How
Big
about?
Dipper. Here's a question. On which state flag would you find the Big Dipper?
Oh, nice. Would it be the Southern Cross?
Yes. Who got that right?
Tony
Chen. Very
Tony
good. The
Chen.
Southern Cross. So you see this flag on a lot of countries in the Southern Hemisphere. For example, this is Christmas Island,
Mm-hmm.
the Cocos Islands, Tokelau, Samoa, Papua New Guinea, Australia, and not counting the United States, my favorite country, New Zealand.
Nice. That's a lot of countries that have that.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, the one
Okay.
that has the Big Dipper, is that Alaska?
That is correct.
Nice.
North to the future.
Tony Chen got that one as well, and so did
Tony
Game
Chen, you
Roundup.
are a flag genius.
And we just have to mention too that Tom H got Southern Cross as well. So
Okay. Okay. What is the constellation seen in this flag?
Okay, if you guys know, put them in the comments. What constellation? That looks like that looks like an anvil. I'm guessing the anvil constellation. Does Pickle know?
Pickle doesn't know.
I know what you could teach Pickle.
By the way, I put the camera closer up to me this week because my mother said that you looked great, Heather, but that I was too far away and the camera was too low, and it made me look weak to be pointing up. Okay.
I like the way your camera looks right now.
Thanks. So the answer to this one, it's a trick question. It doesn't refer to any constellation. This is the configuration of the islands in the island nation of Tuvalu.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay, and last question. Name 2 international flags that have keys on them.
Tees?
Keys, like a key that you would open a door with.
Oh, a key. I'm guessing Narnia.
Nope, that's not a international flag.
Dang. If you guys know the answer, put them in the comments. I'm sitting here waiting to see if anyone gets the answer.
Somebody asked what island belonged to Japan and the U.S. took it over. I think that you could say that about a lot of them, like Midway Island, maybe Guam, Johnston Island, Wake Island. Yeah, we got a lot. I think we got a lot of good islands from them.
So Amit says Key Island.
Nope.
How about Door Island?
Nope.
Hawaii?
Nope.
Okay. Omid, none of those.
I'll give you a hint, audience. One of these flags I showed before, but for a different question.
Oh. Here's a good memory one.
Okay, Alex got one of them. Gibraltar.
Oh, cool.
Now, I wouldn't consider Gibraltar a country. It's a territory of the United Kingdom, but nevertheless, there's a little flag there.
Nice.
And the other one, let's see if anyone got it. Nope, 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 I don't see it. Bringing back the flag of the Vatican, and the 2 keys represent the keys to heaven.
That's cool.
Okay, that's it for flag trivia, guys. Thanks very much for playing. And I think next week we'll do trivia based on state flags.
That was fun. Really enjoyed that.
Thanks. All right, let's get back to some questions from the peanut gallery.
In that case, let's do our next question from the forum. This is from Odious Gambit. Do you think APs sometimes ignore the fact that a positive EV situation can become a negative EV once the tax implications kick in? Do many or most APs practice tax evasion as a result?
I'll answer the second one first because that's easier. I think tax evasion by advantage players is the order of the day. I probably think 90 to 99% of them either don't pay taxes at all or pay much less than they're supposed to. They're basically on the honor system to pay taxes. Okay, but I'm definitely in the boat where taxes affect my AP behavior in that with the tax change, with the increase of the standard deduction, it makes jackpots of $1,200 or more taxable for me, as well as a lot of people, everybody who doesn't itemize and that might owe taxes. So when I consider that that's going to reduce my return on video poker by about 0.5%, and there are such tiny advantages in video poker to begin with, that it's no longer a positive game for me. The only way I might play it would be on a multi-line game where you almost never see jackpots. But and I think every video poker advantage player knows about this, and and if they're smart, which I think you need to be a video poker AP, they have adjusted their behavior for that or just quit playing. But with other forms of AP where there's not W2Gs involved, where again, they're basically on the honor system to pay taxes, I'm sure it had no effect at all. So there's my answer there.
The only 2 cents I want to add is some APs know the tax laws better than some accountants.
Yeah, especially when it comes to gambling.
Yeah, especially.
Yeah, the problem is that everyone knows that in theory you can offset losses against jackpots, but you can't do that unless you itemize on the Schedule A. So if you don't itemize, there's no opportunity to deduct any offsetting losses.
Right. And after they changed the standard deduction, basically doubling it, there's no reason to itemize unless you're taking a lot of, itemizations.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
So our next question comes from Brian. What are the chances you get a mixed colored blackjack as opposed to the same color blackjack?
It's almost 50-50. The chances of getting a mixed one would be a little bit more because of the effect of removal, but it's close to 50-50.
I love it when we get easy questions. Easy questions are so nice. Next question is from Joey. If you had to go into a casino and your life was on the line, that you had to make a profit, which game and which casino would you play?
It would depend upon the other rules, like how much of a profit did I need to make and how much of a bankroll would be given me to make that profit. I would probably, first my bet, assuming I got a decent bankroll, I would probably do a martingale where I just would keep doubling until I got a win. And I would probably do that. It would again depend on my bankroll, but I think a good bet to do that on would be the player bet. I mean the banker bet in Baccarat. Now you might say, what about blackjack? Doesn't that have a lower house advantage? But there I might overshoot my goal of just winning, say, $1 with the doubling and splitting. And if I'm not allowed to double and split, that makes the house advantage higher in blackjack than it would be in Baccarat. So yeah, it's more a question of the strategy than the game choice.
Okay.
That's about as far as I can take that.
Cool. Now, our next question, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to answer this. I'm not even sure if I understand the question completely. What are some good pods ASRs?
I don't understand the question either.
Okay, good. I'm not the only one.
It's a technology thing I'm too old to get.
Well, the only ASR I could think of is the one where it's like they talk really soft and quiet and it's supposed to be a relaxation thing. Or maybe I'm equating it to something weird.
Well, what is ASR an acronym for?
Okay, so our next one is from Wayne. During quarantine, we have not gone to a close by casino. Are they raising or dropping odds on money out during this time?
the rules of the games, which is the important thing, are pretty much the same. So, yeah. Yeah, so I take it that's what you mean by raising or dropping the odds. But yeah, I would say no, that the game rules are pretty much the same.
Okay. Here's an easy one. What are some good podcasts you would recommend for gambling or otherwise?
There's one podcast that I really like called, I haven't listened to it for a while, but it's called The Hilarious World of Depression. And it's catered to people that have depression, and in every episode there's an interview of somebody who has, and it's usually an actor or a comedian or somebody, and they just are, address what they do with their depression, and stories about it, like how bad it got, how they treated it. And I think it's a really good and healthy way to look at depression. Another one, let's see. Another one I like, but I listened to it on the radio, is called the Moth Radio Hour, where it's basically just telling stories. And those are the only two I can think of that I like right off the top of my head.
Okay.
But you, Heather?
If you guys haven't already, check out Be in the Know by Benny Mancino. He has a good podcast out. We could give him a couple followers. And the other one.
Wait, I have another one. Oh, did I interrupt you?
You're good. Go for it.
Mobituaries.
Ooh.
So, I read the book. But it's by Mo Rocca, and the thrust of the podcast is obituaries of not just people, but also styles and movements, things like that. And he has a very humorous yet educational take on all these things. So I love everything that Mo Rocca does. So I highly recommend that. And okay, Heather, back to you. I'm sorry I interrupted.
Oh, you're good. It's all cool. I understand. I do the same thing. I was going to say Richard Munchkin has a good podcast as well. So go check them out.
Well, you got to love gambling with an edge, especially when I'm on it.
Always. So our next question is from the gamer on top. Does it seem like we have or are seeing too many games with a mandatory anti-wager, maybe a mandatory side bet, and then a playful decision, i.e. Ultimate Texas Hold'em or Crazy for Poker?
The market likes these poker-based games, and it's the main ways that you get a house advantage in these games is you enforce a side bet, like the blind in Ultimate Texas Hold'em, or I think it's the super bonus in Crazy for Poker. Or the other way is forcing the player to a raise or fold decision. And it basically makes the player act first. So as you know, in poker is a very positionally important game, and it's bad to have to act first. So, I can't think of any other good mechanism for the house to get an advantage. So, and I think that there's still room for more successful poker-based games. So yeah, my short answer is no.
Okay. Next one is from the forum, and this is from Odious Gambit. The original Star Trek is long gone. Were you a fan of any of the offshoots?
Okay. Let's let you answer that Star Trek question, Heather.
Okay. I did watch the original Star Trek, but I watched it maybe like 4 years ago when I first got into Star Trek. And then I have watched every offshoot except Enterprise. I couldn't get past the first season with Enterprise, but everything else I've watched.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not good with Star Trek, so I will stay out of that one.
Have you seen any of them?
I watched the first season, but it was when I was a kid, so I don't remember it that well. But there was one episode that was filmed in the entryway where my father worked in Redondo Beach, and there was some episode where there was some kind of slime that was invading the Enterprise. And anyway, that's where they shot those slime scenes.
That's cool. It's good to know. Our next question is from a viewer, and it's from Markham. Does high probability on any one side bounces the prediction results? If it does, what is the threshold level at which it does?
Do you understand what he's asking?
No. I was hoping you did.
I don't understand the question.
Sorry, Markham.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we take a break for Name That Tune?
Let's do that.
Okay. Get ready, audience. This is, I think, kind of an easy one. Wait. I'm sorry, I lost my place. Yes? Yes, I do.
So we got it. Someone got the answer.
I'm sorry, that was a terrible rendition of it.
It's okay. Tom H got it.
Tom H, congratulations. The Battle Hymn of the Republic.
Nice.
By the way, somebody was asking if the bird was in this room.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Aw.
Okay, let's get back to questions.
Okay, back to questions. This is from the forum. This is the last question from the forum from Odious Gambit. What science fiction on TV do you watch, if anything?
I love Black Mirror. I've seen every episode, many of them multiple times. Other than that, I like Westworld.
Oh, yeah.
I need to, finish up with season 2 of that. And those are the only two in recent history that I'm really following right now.
How about in the past? Anything in the past that you enjoyed?
I love let's just say that I like the Terminator movies. Not all of them. Shall we say the ones that are, in the original timeline? I love the Alien movies much more than the Terminator movies. I really like I Am Legend. I liked. I generally like movies either about aliens or robots. Oh, another one I really like was Ex Machina. Outstanding. I can watch that movie over and over and over again. So robots and aliens, just love them.
They're the best. Have you ever watched Battlestar Galactica?
I never got into that, even though I was
one. The newer one, not the 60s one?
Neither one. The original was right at the age where that was age appropriate for me, but me and my brother and I just couldn't watch the same TV shows, and he planted his flag in Battlestar Galactica, so I couldn't like that.
He got all the good shows.
Yeah, he did pick a lot of good shows, including I kind of secretly watched Star Trek, but he watched that, so I couldn't let him know that I liked it. There was my pride there. So no comment there. How about you, Heather? We're both science fiction buffs, so what's the top of your list?
Battlestar Galactica, Firefly, love those. 12 Monkeys. Did you ever see the 12 Monkeys
Yeah,
show?
yeah, that's a good one.
Love that. And
The 12 Monkeys did it.
guess what? I think this is the first time I'm telling you this. You know Deacon from 12 Monkeys?
I can't say that I can. No,
You don't remember Deacon?
I watched it so long ago that I don't remember who Deacon was.
Okay. Well, he's going to be a guest on our podcast. So that's going to be this weekend. He's going to be a guest on our Star Trek podcast. So.
Oh, would you care to be more specific when it's on?
Starfleet Underground. And the show comes out either Sunday night or Monday morning. And he will be a guest on our show. So really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I will catch that.
Thanks. So our next question, another easy one. Between YouTube, Michael Jackson, or Prince, which concert would you go to?
That's a good one. I'm going to go with Prince, and I've seen Prince in concert, and yeah, he does a good concert. You know, I will say that he just stands up there and plays. He doesn't engage with the audience at all, and he doesn't surprise you with anything you didn't expect him to play. But it was a very entertaining show, very kind of sexually risque, shall we say. But then again, I've already seen Prince, so maybe I would say that if I could go back in time and see one of those people, it would have to be Michael Jackson, because I already saw Prince, and U2 has some great songs. Like, I love Where the Streets Have No Name, but they have a lot of songs that I don't know, just kind of put me to sleep. Like, I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Yeah, so my order goes Michael Jackson, Prince, U2, even though I like Prince more than Michael Jackson.
Have you seen the Michael Jackson impersonator show here?
Yes.
What'd you think?
One at the Stratosphere I thought was quite good. Cool. It's called MJ Live, and I think they have two different people that portray Michael Jackson. So, but the one that I got, the one who I saw, I should say, he was really good, but he also did the show in kind of a humorous, kind of a lighthearted way, where he didn't like come out and say, "I'm Michael Jackson." It was more like, I love Michael Jackson's music, and but he addressed the audience in his own voice and spoke about Michael Jackson in the third person. And I think would be kind of awkward to actually portray Michael Jackson, given all the things that he's accused of. But yeah, and the guy who played Michael Jackson, after the show, he was very engaging with the audience and was happy to chat with them and take their questions. And he was a really nice guy. And I got a picture of him, but it got lost. But yeah, I really recommend that show, and it's also quite reasonably priced. But who knows what shows we're going to have when we have shows again.
Well, all I can say is we got 23 weeks of new Star Trek. Yay! Sorry.
Heather, what did you think of the old Star Trek exhibit at the Hilton?
That was fun. I was upset when they took it out. And actually, some of my high school friends worked there. And one was a Borg, one was a Klingon, one worked at the bar. And it was just one of those things where, like, if you're a teenager here, that was one of the fun things to do. It's like a job, a summer job.
That was the cool job to have.
Well, for the nerds. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go with the next one.
So our next question is from Michael. If you had to choose your top 3 table games, what would they be, and can someone make a living at them?
It would depend if I'm ranking them by the odds or enjoyability. But if you take kind of a mixture of the two, then I would say Ultimate Texas Hold'em, Blackjack, and payouts tiles. And can one make a living at them? With Blackjack, there's all kinds of advantage plays that I'm not going to bother to go through. With Ultimate Texas Hold'em, if we put morality aside, taking advantage of dealer errors is a big one. But playing games straight up, it's difficult. Yeah, you would need advantage player cheating to make a living at any of those.
Okay.
I've said this so many times, but there's no easy way to get the advantage in any game. Advantage play is tough. It's a lot of work for a pretty thin advantage.
Yeah. Our next question is from Crap Strategies, and it's a sports betting question. Regarding the usual 3-point home field advantage in the NFL, what are your thoughts on potential line spread adjustments this year, assuming no fans in the stadiums?
I don't think that fans in the stadium are going to make much of a difference. In my opinion, that 3 points for home field advantage is due to things like it's in small part due to the road team being a little bit tired from traveling and sleeping in a hotel as opposed to their own bed. But it's my opinion, and it's very strongly argued in the books. What was it called? Not sportscasting, but oh shoot, what was the name of it? It was some play on words on sportscasting. Anyway, they provide a really strong argument that the reason for the home field advantage is referee bias, and they can show in baseball how the umpire at home plate has a much stronger strike zone for the visiting team than the home team, and a lot of other examples like that. And I tend to believe it. And you might say, why are the umpires biased towards the home team? And I'm sure that every one of them would vehemently deny a bias, but ultimately sports is a form of entertainment that's expected to make money. And every team in every sport is more profitable when they win, especially when they win at home. And so there's and that because that allows them to charge more for their tickets because people pay more money to see good teams. So I think that there's probably a little bit of subtle pressure on referees to make the home team happy.
Do you think it's a conscious or an unconscious bias?
Unconscious, definitely. Like I said, I'm sure every referee and umpire would vehemently deny it, but I think that they would, truthfully deny it. But yeah, I think that they're wrong, and I think that there's a very subtle bias there.
Okay. Next question: are you going to bet on the Tyson fight?
Nah, I don't bet boxing.
Okay.
Didn't even know he was fighting. I thought he retired years ago. Maybe there's a new Tyson.
Craft Strategy says, I heard that casinos now have server-based slots, meaning they can change payout percentages remotely. Do you have any knowledge of how often they change it, such as busy or slow times?
Okay, casinos have had that for a long time, like at least 10 years. And I think that some of the tribal casinos in California have that. I'm not sure about the Pachanga, but for some reason that's in my head. And I know that it was tested here in Las Vegas, I think at the Treasure Island, but I'm not sure. But for the benefit of the audience, normally in a slot machine, what returns the return percentage is called an EEPROM chip, and that's basically a chip that shows the math of the game. And today, it doesn't necessarily have to be exactly a microchip. It might just be a setting, but you need to go actually open up the machine and turn a key and set the machine to what return machine you desire. But now with server-based slot machines, they are allowing all this to be done remotely. So in theory, the slot manager at the touch of his own computer in the comfort of his own office could reconfigure any slot machine in his casino that he wanted to. However, here in Nevada, when they did this, there was a regulation that you couldn't change the return of a slot machine unless it hadn't been played for at least so long. And so long was something like an hour. So, so yeah, the machine had to be standing there dead for a while for them to be allowed to change it. And also, server-based gaming or not, every casino has to report to the gaming control board what every single machine is set to. So if a casino with server-based gaming wanted to change just one game from, say, 91% to 92%, they would need to, I think, fax in a form to gaming declaring that they made this change. And I think most casino managers, even if they wanted to, would probably not want to bother going through the fuss of faxing in all these reports. So if they wanted to change every single machine, they would have to fax one document for every single one of them. And furthermore, it's a myth that casinos tighten their slots when it's busy and loosen them when it's slow. It's just not true. Every casino tends to have a return percentage that they're comfortable with, and then they just leave the machines there, leave the machines on that return indefinitely.
Okay. Wow.
You know, sometimes a new slot manager will come in and have a different philosophy. And a trick that I've heard of is, let's say a casino gets a new slot manager and he's real eager to impress when he takes on his job. So if he was thinking only about the short term, he might tighten all the slots, which would cause a lot more short-term profits. But the cost of that would be players feel this. And if they leave upset, like, you know, I really did a lot worse than I usually do, they're probably going to feel that the slots got tightened and be less likely to return to that casino. So a casino that depends on return business has to find some balance between making money now and letting the player leave happy even if he lost. So it's a delicate balance. And but once you've found that balance, it's probably not something a casino manager wants to mess with. So that's about as far as I can take that. So I see we've only got 2 minutes left. Any last good questions?
We have several questions. Here's one that might be fun to answer.
Yeah, I'll try to answer them quickly.
Do you ever think that we'll see a casino game with a D8 or 10 or something like that from Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh, yeah. In case anyone doesn't understand it, a D8 is an octahedron with 8 sides, and a D10 is a 10-sided die that doesn't have a particular name because it is not an Archimedean solid. But no, players like traditional gambling equipment, meaning 52-card decks and 6-sided dice. And I have seen people at Cutting Edge and G2E with bizarre games where you roll an icosahedron or a completely modified deck that has colors and numbers and who knows what. And all these games, 100% of them, I believe, have crashed and burned and never even got a field trial, because people understand 6-sided dice and they understand your standard 52-card deck. So they can, so if they're playing a game that involves any kind of a decision, they can at least have some kind of a feel to the game if it's with conventional equipment. And, players do not like things that are radically new. So, okay, that's as far as I'll quickly take that one. Next question.
Next question. If someone wants to contact you to hire to evaluate a game, what is your contact information? How can they get a hold of you?
I'm slow to just throw out my email address out there, but go to Wizard of Odds or Wizard of Vegas, click contact, and then it'll say, why are you contacting us? And select I have a gambling question, or I have I want to reach the wizard directly, and tell me the gist of what your game is, and I will get back to you.
Sounds good. And that sounds like a good way to leave off this live stream. When is the next time people can see you?
Same time next week, 3 o'clock on Thursday.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Okay. Well, Heather, thank you so much for hosting this as always. And thanks, audience, for showing up. And next week, we will be doing state flag trivia.
Looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Okay. And feel free to come prepared with your own state flag trivia questions and try to challenge me.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Okay. Thanks again, Heather. Thanks, audience. Bye.
Bye.